Hi, Ricardo. Hey, this is good work. This is good work. I think it's great. You definitely have that kind of young, young person flair to it, without question. I think it's really effective. Good job, good decisions, nice work, good execution, good layout. Yeah. Okay. Couple of recommendations. So I like the type. I think the type looks good. These two actually are for two decorative typefaces. They actually work out pretty well together. I think the title is a little bit high in the composition, but it's forced to be because I think the images are too high in the composition. So what we can do is back to typography. Right now, this is kind of, I think the space between the cap M and the cap C right there is really a neat place to kind of tuck that in. I don't mean move it down anymore, but I mean center it between the M and the C. Because right now that little space right there is a little unusual. So I would move that over to the left, the count of. And then we can increase the size of the actual, I think the count of is good relationship-wise here. But if you increase the whole thing just a little bit, or just keep that the same size, but increase Monte Cristo just a little bit. Watch my cursor, something like this. Just a little bit more emphasis on Monte Cristo. Okay, and then you take that whole typographic composition and move it down a little bit, but as I said, it's going to interfere with the tops of their heads, which is problematic. So since these are separate images, we'll move these down in the composition. There's no real pertinent information. This is not pertinent information right here. He's drawing a sword, yes, but right now I don't think it really adds enough meaning to have to really keep it. So I think that for the sake of the page mechanics, I think we're going to lose that little bit of meaning right now. Move him down in the composition, move them down in the composition. That's going to create a little bit room up here in the sky to place the type, and I think that's going to be very effective. Okay, back to typography. This Alexander Dumas, it's fine typeface choice, but I would like to see this kind of effect on it. And not necessarily the bevel and emboss, but at least the same color presentation. This is like a cream yellow, whereas this is pure white. So that advances more in the composition. It's a little problematic. So let's bring those on the same kind of visual field by making sure that they're the same color. My only other recommendation in terms of composition is right now, he's the good guy, he's the bad guy, right? So it would make sense to have him a little bit more dominant in the composition, and we can do that. So is she the damsel in distress? I'm not positive, but what we can do is we can kind of take this configuration here and move it down a little bit, because we want him higher in the composition than they are, because he's the protagonist and he's the antagonist. So obviously he's the hero. We want him a little bit bigger. So let's reduce that guy a little bit in the composition by moving them down just a little bit. She'll probably have to go along for the ride. If not, that's okay. Just bring him down, but bring her down if possible. I'm not sure if that's the same image or two separate images. You get the idea though, right? Other than that, it's really, really a good job. So nice work, and if you have any questions, please let me know. But I'd like to see you address those changes. I think they'll do. I think they'll be an advantage to the composition. So think about it, try it. Let me know what you think. All right, any questions? Please let me know. Good job. Thank you.